We are now ready to hear from our keynote speaker. Let me introduce him. Michael Valentine, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity. With over a decade of service on the board and 2 years as board chair, Michael's dedication to Habitat for Humanity's cause is unwavering. Michael's roots in real estate run deep with more than 40 years experience. Michael began his career with his own construction company and merged with a company to achieve a ranking of 62 of the top contractors in California. He spent 17 years as an EVP of construction management, overseeing the management of more than $650 million in construction projects, giving him the expertise to tackle the housing challenges facing Orange County. But it's not just about the buildings for Michael, it's about families inside them. Beyond Habitat, he's devoted 18 years to the board of directors of Goodwill Industries of Orange County, demonstrating his commitment to the community. As president and CEO, Michael's mission is clear: safe and affordable housing for Orange County families. With his leadership, Habitat is building a brighter future, one home at a time. Michael Valentine's not just leading the way, he's building the way to a better Orange County. Will you please help me welcome Michael Valentine?
Yeah. Check. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I guess the stand doesn't go up mine.
It does.
Okay.
Actually, you want me to?
No worries. I can do this too.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Very good. Well, I don't have a joke. Let's see. Not even a dad joke. And my kids always give me a hard time because they come off the top of my head. But in a pinch, I can't pull one out. Oh, well. Very good. This is really a terrific room. Enthusiastic. I don't even have to do the usual like, good morning, Brea. Everybody's good morning, Brea. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. You already did that. First take, right? So very nicely done. I like the intimacy of all this. I'm going to take a moment to put on glasses as well. This is what happens as you get older, right? So good morning to you all. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you this morning. It's really a privilege to talk to this dynamic group. Lots of great things going on in this city. And my roots are Orange County, born in the city of Orange, first 10 years of my life, and then we moved to San Luis Obispo. So I'm a Central Coast guy all the way through college. But we wanted to come back to Orange County in after I finished my degree in construction management from Cal Poly at San Luis Obispo, and the first place we moved to was Diamond Bar. And we came into Brea all the time. Great restaurants, great shopping, terrific mall, and then moved down to sort of central Orange County, Tustin, North Tustin area, and been there since '89. So long time living in just a central part of this community. You already know my name, you know what I do, and the main thing is really I want to get across to you this morning is home ownership is the key to empowering a family to thrive. I know we talk a lot about affordable homes, but I want to give you the distinction. Affordability, oftentimes when we talk about those homes, it's a rental situation. It's not owning. And when you own, there's a fixed cost. The mortgage, a little bit, the taxes and insurance go up a bit, but really it's fixed costs. With rent, how many of you are in a renting situation, or your kids maybe, and it's going up 10% a year every year? And your wages aren't keeping up with that, right? So that's what so many are faced with here in Orange County. And so I want to talk to you this morning about home ownership and what it really means. So where are we today? Let's see. I'm going to try this out. I got the right arrow. Perfect. Let's start with where we are. Orange County is one of the most desirable, wouldn't you think? Great place to live. And the most affordable. No, I got that wrong. 57% over the national average.
Good joke.
Yeah? Okay, I got one. Check that. And look at housing.
Yeah.
164% above the national average. That's a lot. In fact, the affordability index, it's 18% of our population in Orange County can afford to buy a home. That's how low it is. Pretty bad. When you look at this, there's our median price. Wow. That's up there. And the median income is about 130,000. That's a 1-to-10 ratio for a house. That is not a sustainable ratio. It needs to be like 3 or 4 times income to buy a home. And 1 in 5 families are spending more than 50% of their income on housing. And in July of 25, I was just reading the most update about the median rental cost in Orange County. I had an old number that was really bad at 4,000. It's at 3,000, which is still pretty bad. You have to be making about 120 grand a year to afford that rent if you want to be in the affordability range, which is 30 to 35% of your income for housing costs. So think about those that are low-income earners. If you own a company, who in your company is making 130K? How many of them or more? Probably many of your support staff are in that lower range. And so that lower income renter may be spending as much as 87% of their income on housing costs. And that really limits their fund to necessities like food, right? Fuel to get to work. That's about all you have left. And so when these families are rent burdened, it's nearly impossible to plan for the future. They struggle to save. They can't invest in their children's education. They miss work because of unstable living conditions. I mean, many are living in pretty lousy conditioned homes. And they live with this constant anxiety that the next rent hike could mean displacement. And let me be clear, this isn't just a low-income problem. It's a regional challenge affecting our workforce. Teachers, first responders, healthcare workers, entry-level professionals. That's who it's affecting. Everyday people we rely on. And so when housing's out of reach, where does talent go? Somewhere else where they can afford to live. That's not going to be good for your businesses. And that community then stagnates and the economy suffers. But when we make home ownership accessible, we unlock generational change. One early event in taking this role on, I've only been here in this role for about 20 months. And we love to bring families to talk to the room when we have these events, because nothing like hearing first person, right? So a family of 5, mom, dad, 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And mom shared how, that struggle they had of having to move from place to place to place. Every time the rent went up, the place got a little smaller, got a little less clean, got a little less safe, and they finally got that home. So then we got to hear from the kids. And the youngest, this family of 5 lived in a 2-bedroom. So you had 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl sharing a room. And then mom and dad. So they all get their rooms, 4-bedroom house. Youngest starts going on, waxing eloquently about his room, his bookshelf, his closet, his desk with a light that he could leave on at night to study. Well, he couldn't do it when he was sharing a room with his siblings. And plus he was thankful to not have to hear his brother snoring at night. Then the daughter in the middle, getting into her teen years, she said, I got privacy. It's great. That's life-changing for a young lady. And then the oldest kind of quietly pondered what the home meant to him. And he said, I finally memorized my address.
Aww.
That just stuck with me. That's what it means. And it's going to change the lives of those kids. So what is it that Habitat does? What do we do? Well, we build homes and we make them affordable. It still costs us what it costs any developer to build a home. But we bring in volunteers, we get in-kind donations for materials. We have generous donors who help make up the gap. We sometimes get financing or funding from the state or the federal government. So we do everything we can to just bridge that gap between what it costs us to build the home and what we end up selling it for to a very low, or a moderate income family. So these families also work on their homes. They put in sweat equity. They put in hours in these homes. They attend financial education programs so they can learn to be responsible once they have this home. And I'm really proud to say in our 37 years, we've had 0 defaults on all of our homes. And so they're committed to that mortgage. They're going to pay that mortgage. They're going to make the most of it there. And we believe everyone deserves a safe and affordable place to call home. And we're not giving them away. They've got a mortgage. They're paying for it. But we partner with those families, and they're working hard to make sure that opportunity comes to them. We do this because that home ownership, we feel, is a powerful tool to break the cycle of poverty and build intergenerational wealth. We don't have second-generation Habitat family homebuyers. We just have that first generation, and the next one moves on to, can afford to live on their own and not be in that cycle. When I was on the board, I went to a meeting in Fullerton. We were getting a 12-home project approved, and they had a public comment moment. And a young man came out and says, "I wasn't here to talk about this. I was going to talk about something else, but I'm a Habitat kid. And I went on to school, got a degree, got a great job, moved to Arizona, started a family, bought a home, but we're coming back to Fullerton to buy a house and live here where I was raised." And it's like, that's the story. That's the Habitat story. We broke that cycle. So when a family has that stable home, our children do better. In fact, 80% of the kids in our homes go on to higher education, and many of them are the first in their family to do that. If they were not living in that stable, affordable home, only 25% of those kids go on to higher education. So we always make this case with all the educators out there in those organizations that want to help the kids. It's like, right here, this is it. Health outcomes are better. They're living in a healthier home, and they don't have that stress. Stress does a terrible thing to us, right? Parents can now focus on that family and have a balanced career instead of 2 or 3 jobs to try to make ends meet. They can focus on that one career. And the community becomes stronger. That family is invested in the community. They live there, they shop there, they work there, their kids go to school there. They care about the community. So we're not building homes, just homes, but we're also building equity and resilience and hope. So I want to share another story. I love telling stories about families. This is from one of our recent Welcome Home events. And when we build a brand new development, we have big ribbon cutting, right? Dignitaries, the neighborhood, volunteers, major donors. It's a big event. But for these 37 years, we have a covenant that we're first right of refusal when the families are ready to sell back. And so then we buy the home back, they're part of the equity. We fix the home up like new, put a new family in it. We've done that over 60 times. And so when I came on board as a CEO, I realized we weren't celebrating that. But it's just important to that family for their first home. So let's do something, kind of like harken back to the days when you moved into the neighborhood, neighbor brings you a plate of cookies, hi, welcome to the neighborhood, that kind of thing, welcome home. So we paper the neighborhood, let them know, come by, have a donut and a cup of coffee before you go to work, meet your neighbor, bring in a couple of dignitaries, a couple of major donors, a couple of board members, and just share the story. And the families talk about this. So this was in Irvine. Reed Wan, this guy right here, highway patrolman. Couldn't afford to buy a house in Orange County. And full-time service. And the dream of homeownership still remained out of reach for him. He had a growing family, he and his wife, 5 boys, and then a baby girl. Aya is her name. That means miracle in Ethiopian. So they all lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. This is a highway patrolman, for crying out loud. And the 3 boys shared a room, and mom, dad, and the baby had shared a room. One of the boys was off to college, but when he came back, he had to bunk in with his brothers. And their apartment, not only was it cramped, it was moldy, had a broken sink, peeling paint, all not being repaired despite multiple requests to the landlord. I'd like to meet that guy. So that home would mean more than just space, right? It would mean stability, freedom, and an ability for Ridwan to pass down some life skills. This guy's a craftsman, woodworker. He likes getting out on the bicycles with the kids. He wanted to have a backyard that his sons could play and enjoy and make some lasting memories. And he became a Habitat homeowner that not only gave him a better life, if he became one, but he would be the first immigrant in his family to own a home, a milestone that filled him with pride and hope and gratitude. So they recently moved into this 4-bedroom home in Irvine, and his family's dream of owning a safe and secure home has now come true. Now, let's see, can I do this video? There we go, video.
In today's economy with rising cost of living, it's nearly impossible for a family to own a decent home in a dense neighborhood. However, with Habitat's program, this dream has come true for us. We are deeply grateful. With the grace of God, we hope that one day we will be able to pay forward and help another family afford a house.
It's really life-changing. My dad puts in a lot of work behind the scenes and just trying his best to raise us right and make sure that we have financial comfort. So the biggest struggle was the household, because we were always in a small apartment with a growing family. So knowing that Habitat Humanity is there to help us and grant us this opportunity to have a home, especially in today's climate, it was words really can't explain it. It's life-changing.
Words cannot describe what it does for people, the security, the community itself, the entire organizations. Habitat for Humanity lives up to its name. Just the name, Habitat Humanity, they have very deep meanings. And it needs 2 to 3 days of reflection on those 2 words. So definitely Habitat can't describe it.
Yes, worth applause. Those stories that I get to hear day after day, it's the fuel in my tank. That's just really gets me going. And we have some big plans. One of those is Keys to 100. We want to impact 100 families here in the next few years. And so we're building and we're counting down to those 100 homes. So what have we done in the last 37 years? This is 35 up there in the slide, but I checked the math and it's actually 37. So 239 homes, 16 cities, and those 100 homes in the next few years. Pleased to say we have a batch here that we did in Brea, about a dozen homes, and we have more to do. This is what our community impact looks like right now. 2,200 people have attended our orientations, and the families served, the children served, single parents, all sorts of family mixes, and cities we partner with. But this work we do also has economic impact. And for every dollar we put into the community gets $1.77 back. Think about that. Each Habitat home adds tax base, reduces strain on the social services, creates this positive ripple effect in your shops and your schools. And we're actually trying some new things out here. We have a 9-unit apartment complex we bought in Santa Ana. We're going to put a condo map on it, and we're going to turn them into ownership opportunities. Figure we can do that a little faster. Those of you in the development world, it takes for freaking ever to get a house project through cities. It's just all the process and everything else. Jason knows this, It's true. We had lunch. I bemoaned all those things. He knows it's true, and it just takes forever. So why not buy something that's already there, fix it up, put a condo map on it. We can get that done in about 18 months instead of a couple, 3 years.
81
maybe.
months.
Yeah, 81 months. Is that what you're counting it down now, right? Yeah. It's it's tough.
That was my joke.
Yeah, that's his joke. Okay. We also are still building new. We have another 6-home project in Santa Ana that we've broken ground on. We're getting things going. And then in Costa Mesa, we split a lot. We're going to put a single family home there. And then we have another 63 homes in the planning stages in both Santa Ana and Anaheim. So what about Brea? I know we have the 12. So Jason and I have been talking, figuring out ways to do this. And we really would love to connect with this community. And it's a great city. It's a desirable city. It's a safer city. It's got a great economy. And but it's also feeling the housing squeeze, aren't you? So, we need to make sure that your workforce, your teachers and hospitality workers and nurses and essential staff can live here in this community and live near where they work. But it's home ownership. It's not charity. It's just a smart economic choice. So when families put down those roots and shop locally, their children go to your school, they have the possibility of becoming maybe the next generation of business owners or civic leaders themselves. It's really for the businesses in this room. And partnering with us can offer more than just that feel-good philanthropy. It can actually change and amplify your corporate social responsibility and engage your employees, build visibility as your community brand is enlarged there. And we just love to explore those opportunities with you to expand our footprint here into North Orange County. So what are some tangible ways you can get involved? Bring your employees out for a team build. Swing the hammer together. It's a neat team building experience for you and your employees to do it. Yeah, we provide the supervision and the hard hats and the gloves and the tweezers to get with the splinters and Band-Aids or blisters. But you could sponsor an event. We have 3 major events. Our Keys to 100 Gala this year will be Andy Vargas and Santana will be performing at the evening. It should be a really fun time. We're in Costa Mesa at the Avenue of the Arts Hotel. It's in October, so that's a fun evening together. If you're an A personality type, maybe our Leaders Build Challenge will be for you. This is where we bring executives for a day, and they compete, and they're swinging hammers and raising walls, and it's a really exciting time. And or if you like to swing a club, we got a golf tournament. What nonprofit doesn't have a golf tournament, right? But this one's been going on for 25 years and is hosted by TCA, which is an architectural firm. So they do all the work, and we're the beneficiary of it. Raised over $2 million in the last 25 years for us. So that's a great group of people. You could donate materials or services. Remember I talked about in-kind gifts? If you're in the building stream, sinks, toilets, flooring, whatever it may be, if you want to get involved, do something there. You could refer families to us. We have a place on our website that you can go to that portal. We probably get 60 inquiries a month easily, just people looking for an opportunity. You could have us come to your place of business and we'll tell your staff about how you can get into this process of owning a home. We call it Hope to Home. We could present that. You could just volunteer yourselves. We have on-site opportunities. We have a great group of women, the Women Build Group. Those ladies are a powerhouse, and they actually run our Playhouse program. So we have this, if you can't get there to build a big house, you build a little house. And they do all the kids for that. Really fun to see the creativity that comes from the city, from these businesses that come out and build a little playhouse. And then they pick a place they'd like to donate to, maybe their local Boys and Girls Club or a nursery school or whatever it is, someplace the kids can really enjoy it. You can come work in one of our retail stores. We call it the Restore, full of building materials and furniture and housing, home decor goods. So hang out with us there. Or maybe even come to our office if you've got a special skill set in CRMs or accounting or I don't know. We have volunteers that come in every week, 1 day a week, and they help us with input and stuff. So every little hour helps. And it's together that we build that better future. It's a collaborative effort. It's not just us. It takes that whole community. And I'll just wrap it up by saying, it's not about building homes. It's really about building futures for families and for the community. And we cannot do it alone. We need leaders like you to step forward and say, yes, we believe in the possibility. And I invite you to partner with us, join us, build with us. Every home starts with that community that believes, and together we'll build that better future. I'm learning technology too. There's this thing, you point your camera at it, and it actually takes you to a website. It's pretty cool. So, I guess you said you wanted to, there's a chance for questions. If there are questions.
Does anybody have
Yeah,
any questions
interactive
for
things.
Michael?
Yes, sir.
How is, because this is this considered really low-income housing? And how do other homeowners respond to that when you come into that neighborhood?
Yeah.
Does that impact their home values and whatnot?
It does not. That is a myth.
Okay.
When you put the affordable home in with other homes, it doesn't impact to get wonky. The assessors do not use those homes in their evaluation and calculation, or it's when you're looking at it. And what we build is the homes we build are no different than the homes the developers build. They really aren't. It costs $700,000-$800,000 per home to build, and then we sell it to, if it's a moderate family, it might be sold at around $5.25. Low income family might be sold at around $350, and if it's very low income, it would be like $180,000. So look at that gap. It just gets so much. It's just a lot. The big gap. It's amazing to me. We had 2 homes before I came on as the CEO. The site was selected in Santa Ana, historic district of French Park. And when you built 2 homes on a site that we could easily put 6 on, but this is what the historic district wanted. One's a Victorian style, one's a craftsman style, and you wouldn't even know that they were Habitat homes. They matched the neighborhood beautifully. They also cost us $2.1 million to build both those homes. And we sold them each for $400,000. We only got about $500,000 from the city to help us to do that. So we had to raise another $400,000 per house in funds. So that's not a model that's sustainable. We aren't doing that kind of thing anymore. But there's still always a couple $100,000, $250,000, $300,000 short of where we need to be. So that's the challenge we have. But no difference in the homes. They build them just like the neighborhood.
So based on what you're saying, does it seem like it's a long-term land lease? Because other like auxiliary foundations will sometimes do this, like a 9-year lease, and then you just sell the built structure.
So we've looked at that. We
Yeah.
actually were penciling a deal with a church on that, and at the end of the day we did the math on the escalation, and that land we should buy for about $2 million, and it would have been cost us about $44 million by year 99.
Yeah.
So like families don't earn equity in that
Yeah,
situation.
they don't much.
Yeah. So it'd have to be like, here it is. It's $1 a year. That works. We could do that land lease.
Yeah.
So
But you have first right of refusal. So
That's exactly what
what's
we
that
do.
market rate?
So we commit to we have a deed restriction, a silent second, all these things that need to be there. So when the family's ready to sell, they come back to us, and then we keep that home in the affordability range. If it was originally entitled and billed as a very low income, we keep it very low because those are we can't build those today. So I want to keep those. We had a family of 6. They just moved into a 4-bedroom home with their kids, and the kids were saying, when do we have to move from this house? And Mom said, no, we never have to move. This is a forever home.
And you use regional values, I'm assuming, to determine very low.
There's the AMI,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's our region. That's where the 130 is like, holy cow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. When I talk with other affiliates around the country, they're like,
Yeah.
we just bought 40 acres to build the houses. It's like, oh, darn.
We call it that.
If only, yeah. We're lucky if we find 0.4 acres. So,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the event that the family pays off their mortgage, so they're a Habitat family, they get to the end of their 30 year, whatever the term is that become their property, or and do they get to tap on that equity, or do they still have to sell the house to you when it's no longer?
Well, they'd have to live for a very, very long time because the deed restriction in affordable housing, I think 45 years is a minimum. We actually do 60 years on ours. So we have one homeowner he bought when he was 25. He might make it. But the idea is it takes so much effort and so many dollars to build that affordable home. And it sends this family on a trajectory that is so remarkable. We don't want to lose that. There was a story in Northern California, San Francisco area, with this family of 4 kids, grew up in this house. All of them became super successful individuals. We're talking doctors and entrepreneurs and amazingly successful. And the mom and dad actually outlived the deed restriction. And so they went to the kids, they go, it's yours. You can, sell it, do whatever you want with it. And they said, no. You keep it. Do this again. So it really is very meaningful. Yes?
How do people, those big houses there in Irvine that you built, how do they keep them up and everything? That costs a lot of money and everything, and if they're still making low wages,
Well, their cost of housing is limited to 30%. That's where we start. So we do all the math. That's their PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance. If there's an HOA, and sometimes we roll in the utilities. So it's almost like they're paying rent, that cost. That makes it possible for them to take care of the home. And, if it's an HOA, then they do the roof and exteriors, this type of thing gets handled. But inside, it's theirs to take care of. And when they get that raise or that bonus or a better job or a promotion, we don't readjust. The mortgage is set. Yeah, so they're able to do it.
All right. Just because I feel like this is an impactful number, what's the lowest mortgage payment you guys, without getting into detail, what's the lowest someone's paying for the mortgage currently? Do you have any numbers?
Well, that'd be probably the very low, which is up to 60% of AMI. So they'd be making 60-something thousand a year, 30%, 18, so $1,400 a month, maybe something. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's amazing. I remember sitting in the boardroom when we get a family that's approved. And I sit there doing math. I go, "They're making $29 an hour. Oh my gosh, they can buy a house." So that's the miracle of it. Pretty cool. Well, I appreciate you being invested, asking the questions. Brought a few business cards if you want to come up and introduce yourself, and let's see how we can do something here in Brea. I'd love to see you all out on a job site.